Right now, when you type a message to ChatGPT, something happens that even the people who built these systems can't fully explain in every detail. But there's a simple version that gets you 80% of the way. So let's start there. LLM stands for Large Language Model. The language part is a little misleading. It's not really about language. It's about prediction. Here's the entire trick. An LLM takes a sequence of text and predicts what word should come next. You give it, "the cat sat on the," and it predicts mat, or floor, or roof, based on probability. Now do this billions of times with huge amounts of text, code, books, articles, websites, and conversations as training material, and something strange happens. The thing that's just predicting the next word starts to look like it's reasoning. It can write a letter. It can answer questions. It can write code. All from one trick. Predict what comes next. So how does it know which word is likely? It learned by reading enormous amounts of text, books, Wikipedia, code repositories, articles, Reddit posts, trillions of words. It went through a process called training. The model is shown a sentence with a word missing, makes a guess, and gets corrected. Then it adjusts its internal numbers, billions of them, slightly, so its next guess is a tiny bit better. Repeat that process trillions of times. Slowly, the model's internal numbers, called weights, settle into patterns that capture how language actually works. Grammar, facts, coding conventions, argument structures, all baked into numerical patterns. Nobody programmed it to know calculus or French or Python. It figured those out by trying to predict the next word, over and over, until the patterns clicked. Once you understand this, the AI's strengths and weaknesses make sense. The strength, it has seen so much text that it can pattern match almost anything. Most questions you've ever asked have probably been asked before, somewhere on the internet, and the model learned that pattern. The weakness, it doesn't actually know anything. It predicts the most likely next word given its training. Usually that's correct, but sometimes the most likely word is just wrong. That's what's called a hallucination. The model isn't lying. It's confidently completing a pattern that happens not to be true. It also has a memory limit. Each conversation has a fixed window of text it can see at once. Once you go past that limit, earlier parts just disappear. That's why long chats start drifting. Both of these, hallucinations and the memory limit, aren't bugs. They're direct consequences of being a next word predictor. So when someone says ChatGPT or Claude is just autocomplete, they're technically right. But that's a bit like saying a brain is just neurons firing. True, but it misses how much can emerge from such a simple foundation. The next word prediction trick, when you scale it to internet-sized text and hundreds of billions of numerical weights, produces something that genuinely surprised the people who built it. Whether that's intelligence is a philosophical question. What matters for using these tools is what the trick is, and what its limits are. To recap, an LLM is a next word predictor trained on the internet that's somehow smart enough to feel like it's thinking. It hallucinates because predicting and knowing aren't the same thing. It forgets because its memory window is finite. Next episode, we'll look at what the model is actually predicting, because we've been saying word this whole time, but the model doesn't see words at all. It sees something stranger. If this was useful, subscribe. It tells me to keep making them. See you next episode.